Welcome back to another video. Excuse the state of me, I've literally just woken up, gotten out of bed, weighed myself. I'm now about to make breakfast. So it is Saturday. I said I'd do a full day of eating for this video and that is exactly what I plan to do. So starting the day off, I have weighed myself. So I was 87.9, which is about half a kilo heavier than I want to be sitting at the moment. Like I should be a bit lighter at the moment, but it's not a problem because I am also ill. So I am kind of putting it down to that. So I'm not too worried and it's literally half a kilo, it's nothing. So still weighing in the 87s, just a little bit higher than I want it to be, but that's fine. So yeah, now making breakfast. So for breakfast, I'm having baked oats. So I normally bulk cook them. So I make like 4 portions at a time and then I just put them in the fridge and just have them like one day at a time, obviously. So in order to make those baked oats, all I put in, so we've got 2 bananas, we've got oats, we've got peanut butter, chocolate chips, and some almond milk, which I just use to get the right texture. And I literally just mix it all up together in a bowl and just chuck it in the oven like that. So I'll show you once I have put it all together. So in order to make 4 portions, I use 150 grams of oats, 50 grams of peanut butter, 75 grams of chocolate chips, 2 bananas, and then just almond milk for like the texture of the batter kind of thing. So yeah, I'll show you once I have made it. Okay, so mixed everything together, literally just mash up the bananas in a bowl and then just gradually mix everything else in. Doesn't look that appealing, but I'm going to put it in the oven for about 25 minutes, then I'll let it cool down and then I will dish it up. It kind of comes out kind of like a flapjacky type texture, I guess, which is why I like it. It's like a little bit of a sweet treat, but it's not too sweet. But yeah, going to put that in the oven now. Okay, so while I wait for my oats to finish cooking, I'm going to sit down and do some programming just to start the day off. So one thing I am going to have while I wait, I have a very sweet tooth, and especially in the morning I like to have something really sweet when I wake up. It's a bit weird, but it's me. So I am now about to also have a protein shake, just a 1 scoop shake, just because I'm a little bit low on my protein today with everything that I've planned. Something I also didn't mention is I do plan all of my food the night before. So last night before I went to bed, I just planned exactly what I'll be having today, so I don't have to even think today. I can just run through my list on MyFitnessPal and eat the meals that I've already planned. It just makes things a little bit easier. It means I don't have to kind of juggle things in and try and make things fit as the day goes on. Everything's already planned in advance. So yeah, so just going to have a protein shake and a mini Whisper bar. So yeah, going to have that while I wait for my oats, because they'll still be, once they're out of the oven, about 25 minutes, half an hour to cool down anyway. So just going to have these while I do some programming. Okay, so this is my baked oats, just one of the portions dished up. Now I'm about to eat that. So also what I haven't mentioned, so I have made up a bottle of squash. So basically I drink out of one of these every day, and I have like probably 2 of these a day, close to 2 of these a day, and they're 1.5 litres each. But basically in my first one every morning that I make, I put 1.5 scoops of creatine in. I don't worry too much about timing with creatine. The main thing for me is just getting it in my system. So that's why I just always put it in my squash every day, because I know I will always be drinking at least one of those a day. So I just put that in there, and normally that's gone by like lunchtime anyway. So it's in my system within the first, or like I've had it within the first couple of hours of the day. So next meal of the day, it is like 11:30. So this is typically a meal I would actually have at the end of the day, because it is quite a lot higher in fat. I wouldn't normally have a fatty meal this early in the day on a training day. I really fancied it, and I'm probably not going to train until a bit later anyway. So I'm going to still have one more meal before I train, which will be the higher carb meal. Then I'll have my pre-workout snack, and then I'll have another meal when I get home. But yeah, so lunch, or early lunch, is going to be a chicken flatbread with halloumi on the side and mayo in there as well. So it's quite a high fat meal, but it's just one of my favourite things to have at the moment. And the chicken has got seasoning on it as well. If you are a powerlifter or even a bodybuilder that's not on prep, there is no reason you need to be eating your food plain. You can add seasonings. There's not that many calories in seasoning. I don't track my seasonings. So yeah, chicken flatbread with mayo and halloumi on the side. Okay, so it is about 1:30. I am leaving later than I want to be fair, but because I have felt a bit rough, I've kind of just had a bit of a lazy morning. Just kind of sat on my laptop getting some work done, had the TV on and stuff, and just kind of chilled out. So yeah, now I'm away to my parents to train, but I have actually got a meal with me to have when I get there. So I've already prepared it. I probably won't actually show it when I get there. It's literally just steak and rice with some like salad and stuff mixed in, and I've got like a nice glaze type thing on it. It's actually just a recipe that I found on Instagram. I get a lot of my recipes off of Instagram reels and stuff. I think this one was called like Beijing beef and rice or something, but it's really tasty. Yeah, none of my food is ever like completely plain. I wouldn't stick to my macros and stuff. Like, I would be so bored if I had to eat plain food all the time. So yeah, gonna go to my parents, gonna have that pretty much as soon as I get there. And then about half an hour before I train, so I'll let that digest for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on how I feel. And then before I train, about half an hour before, is when I'll have an apple, as long as they've got some at their house, because I haven't got any ours. And then I will also start sipping on my Monster, ready to train about 2.5 hours after I have my meal. So that is the game plan. Yeah, still feeling very tired, but I think I'm just run down, kind of hoping I can somehow muster up the energy to kind of focus for this session. But if not, I'll do what I did on Wednesday, just put a podcast on and just kind of chill through my session. But it is quite heavy today, so, but it'll be fine. Nothing's like heavy, so we'll make it through. But yeah, so gonna head there now, have that steak and rice, and then relax, do some more work probably before I train. Okay, so my afternoon didn't quite go to plan. I've just finished squatting. It's like just gone 8 o'clock. So my plan was to get to my parents like 2ish, eat again at like just before 4, train just after 4, be done by like 6, be home in a good time. Didn't happen at all. So I got here, chatted to my parents for a bit, heated my food up. I was eating by like 2:15. And I had my steak and rice then. And then my parents had their little afternoon nap that they have. So I was just watching like videos on my phone and I could not keep my eyes open and my head was aching and I just felt super rough. Like I did not feel good at all and my energy had just plummeted. So I decided to just go and have a little nap. So I had a nap and to be fair, I think I was out for like 2 hours. Like I was in a deep sleep. Like I was so tired. But I'm actually really glad I did. I was worried that I'd feel worse when I woke up because sometimes when you nap that happens and I don't ever really nap anymore. But no, so I woke up from my nap and I felt a lot better. So I gave myself like half an hour just to like drink some water, kind of come around a little bit, wake right up, and then I had my pre-workout apple and I started sipping on my Monster, and then I don't think I started training until like 7:15, 7:30, so I've literally just finished squatting. To be fair, squats actually felt really good. I was not really in the headspace. I'd say I wasn't in the headspace to train. I was more in the headspace to train after I'd had the nap than before. Like if I'd have trained when I was meant to and didn't have that nap and just kind of pushed through, I think things would have felt a lot worse because I did just feel super rough. And I think it's just, I've just got a cold. It's not a big deal. It's not that bad, but it's bad enough that my energy levels are quite low. And I've been having headaches and stuff for the last few days as well, which I think is linked to it. So yeah, basically nap definitely helped, even if it does mean training later. It really doesn't matter. I've got no other plans for this evening. I did want to have like a night in, but it really doesn't matter. So yeah, basically squats felt really good. Absolutely zero hype. Like just kept things calm. I'm really trying to kind of get used to training no matter what mood I'm in, which I have always been really good at, but I've been like, I don't know, I've been trying to really like utilize that a lot more, and I think that's in prep for comp, because then no matter what mood I'm in for comp, I know I'll be able to like channel it into it. So like Wednesday I was listening to podcasts while I trained, and I'm literally doing the same thing tonight. Just had a podcast on while I was squatting. My 155 top set of 5 was really comfortable, and then my 170 single, cheap singles, said it many times, they always feel heavy as hell on my back, but actually it moved really comfortably. It just didn't feel comfortable on my back, but that happens every time I do my fatigue singles. So yeah, not worried or anything, not concerned. What else forgot to say? Back off 5s at 145, also very comfortable, probably easier than I thought they were going to be. I knew they were going to move fine, but it's more like the mentally taxing side of it, where it's like I really have to make myself kind of get them done. But I actually kept my rest breaks pretty short and just sort of cracked on with them. So yeah, very happy with that. Also really happy at how well training's been going when I am super calm. I think for next week I will kind of put some music on and try and get a little bit more, again, I'm not a hype lifter, so hype's probably not the right word, but just a little bit more like in the zone, focus, get some music on to help me focus a bit more. But yeah, no, I think things went really well considering I felt like shit all day. So yeah, very happy with that. Now I'm going to set up and bench, so I'm not here for too much longer, but it, like I said, doesn't matter. It's Easter weekend. All I've got to do tomorrow again is just client responses, programming like the usual. Hopefully get that done by like lunchtime if I can get up in good time, but also I'm going to let myself have a bit of a lay-in tomorrow if I need it, because I hate napping during the day. Like I like to just sleep at night, wake up, get on with the day. I think tomorrow as well I'm also going to try and go for a really nice long walk. But yeah, I'm rambling at the camera. Bit out of breath still, as you can probably tell from the fact that I'm talking way too quickly. So yeah, gonna crack on and bench. Got a top single today, can't remember what weight we're going for, but hopefully in the 115 range I think is the plan. But we'll see how things feel. My elbows are still very, very tender. I mentioned this, I think at the start of the block to be fair. At the end of last block, so the last block of my off season, pushed things very heavy, and my elbows were a bit kind of flared up ever since then, to be honest, but I think it's also because I've been pushing my accessories a lot more. I haven't really given them a chance to fully rest. They don't feel any worse after squats, but they're just a bit tender, so that might affect bench a little bit, but I'm not too concerned. Just literally going to take what's there. It's going to be a minimum of 110 again, so as long as I can make 110 a very comfortable routine number, I'm okay, especially with fatigue really high. So yeah, gonna stop rambling, gonna bench and gonna see where we end up.
First degree, getting close, but I'm still stuck in the underground. I can't help but falling into settle down. I can tell by the look in your eyes, you're not ready to go. I'm lost with my head in the clouds, so I don't really know. Standing by the edge, not looking down, 'cause I want you to know. Waiting for the interstellar ride. I don't need a reason to show. I know it's all about you and I, and the things we know. We will keep on falling down, but I won't let go.
Okay, so I'm just home. It's just gone 10, so I managed to get bench and RDLs and accessories done in reasonably good time. I did allow myself, I did allow myself a little bit longer rest breaks on bench because I did go heavy, as you can see. So I'm really happy with how bench went. I really felt like my positioning was perfect on pretty much all of my sets. On my rep work, there were a couple of reps on each set where I just didn't feel quite 100%, but like I could feel my rib cage was opening up a bit more and everything just felt really good. Yeah, and I'm really happy, and leg dry felt good and stuff, and I hit 115 with incredibly high fatigue. Like once again on Thursday I went so hard on my accessories. Next week, because it is the last week of the block, so normally my blocks are 5 weeks, this is a 4-week block just to make everything line up ready for comp. So next week is the final week of the block, so I am going to pull accessories back, make them a lot easier, and then that'll hopefully see an increase in performance for especially bench next weekend. But the fact that with fatigue like this high, I have still managed to bench 105 for 2 sets of 5, which I'm pretty sure is a PB. I don't think I've ever done it for more than sets of 3 before. And then I did drop to 102.5 for my final 2 sets because it would have just been like complete RPE 10 if not. And also 115 single, under this much fatigue. Like, I'm so happy with all of that. I can't complain. RDLs, I did my first set of 8 with 100, didn't film them, and then I did 2x8 with 105, which I've never done before. Never done above 100 RDLs before, so I'm also very happy with that. Yeah, so training went incredibly well, especially because I'm feeling run down. I'm not feeling great. Yeah, I think training just calm for me has been working really well. Next week I will probably try and like ramp up the intensity and like the mental kind of stimulus a little bit, just try and get a little bit extra out of my lifts. But yeah, I'm feeling good. Ready to go into the final week of the block. Week 4 for me is never a brilliant week, so I'm kind of accepting that week 4 of the block isn't going to feel fantastic, but I'm still going to get it done, so it's fine. But yeah, really happy with that. So, food-wise, I am going to just kind of talk you through what I'm eating for the rest of the day now. So, firstly, let's just recap what I've had today. So, started off the day with a 1 scoop protein shake and a Whisper chocolate bar. And then once they were cooked, I had my baked oats, which were chocolate chip and peanut butter. Then I went on and I had a chicken flatbread. So, it's just a chicken breast in a flatbread with some mayo, seasoning on the chicken as well. I am not eating plain chicken. Cannot do that. And then I had some halloumi on the side as well. So normally I would actually have that meal at the end of the day because it's a higher fat meal, especially on a training day. Like, on a non-training day or even an accessory day, I'm not as fussy about it. But on training days, I like to save my higher fat meal for the end of the day so that I've basically just kind of got a decent amount of carbs in before my actual session. So it doesn't make that much of a difference. It's just what I find works a bit better for me. But I'll be honest, today I was kind of craving it, so I had it for lunch, and I knew it was going to be a while before I trained anyway. So then I went to my parents and I had my beef and rice. I would like to just say, like, you won't have seen many vegetables and things in my diet today, but they are mixed in with my prepped meals. Any meals that I prep, I just bulk, like, shove in salad, veg, just so that it's kind of more volume, but also gets more nutrients and stuff in. So my beef and rice, there were micronutrients in with that as well. It wasn't literally just plain beef and rice. And then I had a nap, which wasn't planned. Then my pre-workout was literally just an apple, but I wasn't hungry, and that was enough to get me through. Just easy, digestible carbs. I do recommend fruit as a pre-workout meal to like most people. I think if you like training on a relatively empty stomach and you don't like feeling full when you train, it's just a really light snack that's just going to get some carbs in your system really quickly. Yeah, and it tastes nice. So that's why I have an apple as my pre-workout. Normally I would have maybe like 2 or an apple and some grapes or an apple and some other kind of fruit. But I just kind of didn't have the carbs for it today just because of how the rest of my food was. And then I'm now going to go in and I'm going to have some garlic chicken and rice, or like honey garlic chicken and rice. Again, veg and stuff mixed in with it. It's already prepped, and that will wrap up my day of eating. Haven't really included measurements and stuff on this just because everyone's needs are kind of different, and I adjust my measurements as to where I'm at in terms of bulking, cutting, maintaining. So one thing I will say is when you are tracking your food, weigh everything raw. So that's your like pasta, rice, anything like that, weigh it raw, and then meat, weigh raw as well. Just because as you cook things, the measurements of them will change because they will, so like pasta, rice and stuff will absorb more water, so it will then be heavier, and then meat and things will lose a lot of water, so it will then be lighter. But you want to weigh it raw because that will be the most accurate kind of representation of what you're actually getting in terms of nutrients. So yeah, weigh everything raw. But my end of day macros, I will just go over. So I'm finishing the day with 188 protein, 259 carbs, and 57 fat. So my current goals are about 185 protein, so anywhere in the range of 180 to 190 I'm happy with. My carb goal is 260. I sometimes go a little bit over, but tend to stay within the 250 to 260 range, really. But if I go up to 265, I'm not too mad. And then fat goal is 60 grams, but again, I kind of try and stay just below that, so it's more like 55 to 60 grams. So yeah, that's kind of my goals in the day. And then I also make sure that I get at least 20 grams of fibre, ideally more. But to be honest, I don't track a lot of like my salady vegetable bits, unless I'm having loads of them and I know it's going to be enough carbs to justify tracking them. So it's probably higher than what my fitness pal tells me anyway. So yeah, that is going to wrap up this video though. So I'm going to go in and heat my food up and eat that. I hope you have enjoyed. I've not really got anything else to add at the moment. Still just kind of gradually cutting, ready for comp. I think my goal is to be kind of mid 85s, very, very low 86s by my final block into comp. So that's 6 weeks away. So I've got plenty of time. Kind of just gradually increasing my steps and overall movement at the moment. Still got time to add cardio in if I feel it's necessary. But yeah, things are going well. Very good session tonight. Although I do feel quite run down, I am just going to go in, have a good sleep. I feel better now I've had that nap this afternoon, to be fair. So I'm just going to listen to my body over the next few days, rest as much as possible. Thankfully, I haven't got too much work to do. I've managed to get quite a lot done this morning. So yeah, things are good. I will see you on Friday for the next video. But if you have enjoyed, please leave a like, comment and subscribe. And again, as I always say, if you have any questions for me, anything you want to see, leave a comment down below and I'll be sure to reply.